And I kid you not, it was so gross. It looked like sweet potato, like coming. I was like, aliens are made out of sweet potatoes? That looks pretty gross.
Talking about tinfoil, man. Let's talk about UFOs. So you were planning to go.
Like, I know, right? I need to do that. UFO watching parties. But back in the day, like you said, they would freak out about, you look up, you go blind. I mean, I wonder, that's when they started seeing these the UFOs flying around.
Yeah, well, talking about UFOs, man, I like Ancient Aliens. It's like I can binge that thing, man. And I like the guy that is like it's obvious that it was the aliens with the hair, right? So, and there's a bunch of memes with that guy there. So I think that for those, you see a lot of UFOs now. They are calling UAPs, right? The new term. I still gonna call them UFOs. I like it more, UFOs.
You're a traditionalist, I see. Yeah,
I guess, but I think that you start seeing them on places where there is a lot of radioactive movement, right? So nuclear plants, things like that, right? And I think that I was watching the documentary Encounters. It was a bit slow, but the reason why it hooked me is because I haven't seen some information on like in the Japanese culture, right? And they have some information, like some records of in 2000. No, I'm sorry, 1800s, and this is like pre-airplanes, pre-anything. So
yeah,
it's very interesting that they're talking about UFOs, and it's recorded like on paper, with the description of a UFO, and before anything else, right? So that was interesting.
Yeah, I remember. I also watched I think it was called Encounters on Netflix, right? The docuseries, and in that particular episode, yeah, it that pod or whatever it was that they had that was documented. I think it was like in Japanese, I guess folklore or something like that. But they actually had written stuff where they said that they found a woman inside of that pod or something like that, like and that became part of the story. I don't know if it was an abduction or what, but very, very interesting. And yeah, it took me a while to get through the whole docuseries. It wasn't like super, super jam-packed, exciting type of those things. It really was trying to show kind of the history of some of these UFOs, what has, things that really couldn't be explained. And on that episode, did you notice there was the lady that they were talking about, like light language? That cracked me up a little bit, actually.
Sure, but what part?
I didn't know what to expect. Well, no, just because like the way she just started talking really fast, like it didn't make any sense. I'm like, what like, what did she say?
There was another lady in Mexico, and she became part of the meme culture over there. Talking, which is very weird because now you have these different people popping up in different countries, right? They're talking about this language with the aliens, right? And she calls it the light beings or something like that. The beings made of light. So, which is very interesting. Like, and again, she's just communicating through this kind of language. But yeah, it sounds funny. Yeah, when I hear her, yeah, it was a bit funny.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure. I didn't. I wasn't expecting that, first of all. But I think it's some type of like channeling or something like that. She said she could channel somebody.
Yeah.
For an alien, or I'm not sure what the case was. Something like that.
That was out of the blue, though. It's like we were talking about aliens. I was about to pull my tinfoil, right? Yeah. And suddenly, like, oh shit, she went religious here. I didn't see that coming. So she went all Scientology on me. So it's like, oh, that was weird. Yeah, that was weird. But sure, let's keep watching, because it's just different points of view, right, on this information. But yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's some interesting stuff there. If you did want to pick something up on that docu-series again, I think it was called Encounters on Netflix. But I did see something else that was really interesting. It was a little grossed me out on, I don't know, online somewhere. I forget where, but they were doing a dissection of these Nazca Perus, right? We mentioned them. We mentioned it last time, like they were taking samples and stuff like that. So they were showing the video of this a scientist. I don't know what she actually was, right? She was trying to dissect pieces or chunks off of this Peru. And I kid you not, it was so gross. It looked like sweet potato, like coming. I was like, aliens are made out of sweet potatoes? That looks pretty gross. I don't know about that. It was dirty, but they got their samples that they needed.
What was the outcome? Like it was like conclusive or what?
Not yet. This was just showing the process of because there's
getting like the sweet potato from the aliens.
Getting the sweet potato from the aliens. They were obviously eating. I mean, they are Peruvian, so I think Peruvians, they're very big on their potatoes, so maybe that's why.
Yucca.
But no, they got the yucca over there. No, but I think they were trying to show like their chain. I forget what it's called, but it's basically
carbon 14. The carbon 14 to be able to see how old they are, or.
Well, whenever you collect samples, you've got to show that, you know, you did it a certain way and they weren't tampered with. So there's this chain of evidence so that you can determine, like, yes, it was collected in the right way. So later on, you can't say when there's some type of conclusion that, oh, they did it the wrong way. So I think they were just documenting some of that process. And but yeah, so I don't think there's results in, or at least not all the results in yet, but they just showed that. It was pretty interesting.
Interesting. We'll see what it comes out of that thing. Some of the we mentioned last episode, right? Some of them they look funny, they look interesting. But yeah, I think that overall we'll keep watching these things. I think that they are coming up a little bit more open. But I'm actually fascinated that the people whatever. So we have become so desensitized that when truly happens, it's like, yeah, it was expected. Right?
Like,
I have a friend that is reptilian, right?
Of course. Yeah. Like so, you knew.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that we it's just that we just became so desensitized of these things that whatever, right? Just moving on to my next item.
Yeah, you just never know because there's so many people that make wild claims and in the end it ends up being debunked, right? So it's like you really don't know when to get excited or when not to get excited, right? It's just like, okay, whatever. Like, I've heard it all before, you know, call me when it's really been proven. But, you know, some of these things are going to be really difficult to prove also. So we're just going to keep on going. It's, you know what it reminds me of is that movie that one was kind of like, there was a lot of, it was really polarizing. Lots of people really got upset at this movie. I think it was called Don't Look Up, right? It was the one that was basically poking fun at a lot of people that there's like this asteroid coming to Earth to destroy Earth. But then there was this whole culture that was kind of like denying that this asteroid really existed. And then there was like, I can't believe, like, all these scientists are saying, yes, we're about to blow up, but people just went on their day saying, nah, it's not real, fake news, whatever, blah blah blah. So it could be some of that too, right?
I think so. And I think that that's the reason why we always mention here to be able to do your own research, to try to don't believe us even to ourselves. We are two dudes here, right? So because it is hard, it is literally hard to figure out what it is true, what is not, right? And what is incomplete information. So I do agree. It's like, try to do your research, go to Reddit, go to, right? Like whatever, ask ChatGPT, right? But even those, they are biased, right? They are like highly biased. So
yeah, you've got to consider the quality of the evidence that you've got, right? There's different levels of quality. And so, you know, that's what they say. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence at the same time. So
Ramirez for Nobel Prize.
vote here at techmexpodcast.com.
Nobel Prize, and we'll see you over there for the next ones, 2024.
Yeah.